Zamfara State Fire Service records 433 cases of fire outbreak last year. Repentant Bandit assures his support to Zamfara Peace Initiative. Sokoto State Government implements 30,000 naira new national minimum wage in January. On business, World Bank predicts 2.1% growth for Nigeria's economy in 2020. On the international scene, Nigerians given 12-hour ultimatum to leave South African town. Welcome to Standard Voice Television News. I am Musa Joy Onyoza. Now the news in full. The Department of Fire Service in Zamfara State has recorded a total of 433 cases of fire outbreak across the state during the outgoing year. Deputy Director of Fire Service and Public Enlightenment Alhaji Abdullahi Jibo Dauran made this known while answering questions from newsmen in Gusau, the state capital. Alhaji Abdullahi Jibo said in the year 2019, the Directorate has also recorded 13 lives lost to inferno and 40 victims of various degrees of serious injuries. Alhaji Dauran also disclosed that properties worth millions of naira were destroyed due to fire incidences across the 14 local government areas. He said other cases of road accidents recorded are 18, among which 40 people are said to have sustained degrees of injuries and later taken to hospital for treatment. According to him, the breakdown of fire incidents showed that Gusau, the state headquarters, has recorded 198 cases. Kaura Namoda Zona Office has 90. Talata Mafara Zona Office recorded 133 cases. Anka Office has 18, while Gumi Zona Office recorded only 14 cases of fire outbreak. He narrated that his department has recruited 338 staffs and would be posted to the local government areas to assist those that are already stationed there. The deputy fire chief said the state government, under the leadership of Governor Bello Matawali, has procured 14 brand new firefighting vehicles for allocation to local government areas. Alhaji Dauran warned people using electrical appliances to take extra care and stop overloading their appliances in order to avoid short circuit and also off all their electrical appliances when there is no light in their areas. A repentant bandit, Mohammed Bello, has reaffirmed his support and cooperation to Zamfara state government and resolves to partner with security personnel operating in the state towards building a new free crime society. The repentant gave the assurance Wednesday at the state police headquarters, Gusau, shortly after a press briefing organized by the Commissioner of Police, CP Usman Nagogo, to account for the success recorded last year following the peace initiatives that is currently taking place. Mohammed Bello assured that in this year, as a result of the peace initiatives, all repentant bandits will organize themselves and assist the security personnel operating in the state, especially the police, through mutual peace talks with other bandits who are yet to embrace the negotiations. He also disclosed that they will go to all nooks and crannies to identify those miscreants and preach to them what peace means in Islam so that they can come and join hands to make the state crimes free. He, however, made it clear that the peace initiative under Governor Bello Matawale is genuine and called on those miscreants to support him so that all acts of kidnapping, cattle rustling, and unwanted killings of innocent people will be a history. He added that CP Usman Nagogo has done a wonderful job in bringing all warring groups together for peace reconciliation, which yielded fruitful results so much now that a Fulani man can move freely in Zamfara without fear of being killed or harassed. According to him, this year, God's willing, all acts of banditry will be stopped, adding that they will remain in contact with their colleagues who are still inside the bush to persuade them and embrace peace. As Sokoto State concurs to pay the minimum wage of 30,000 naira to workers in the state, the state government has reiterated the need to embark on a wide-scale verification exercise to weed out ghost workers, child workers, and bogus employment offer syndicates. This is contained in a statement signed by Mohammed Bello, Special Advisor, Media and Publicity to the Governor, and issued to newsmen in Sokoto State. Governor Aminu Waziri Tambuwal disclosed this on Thursday evening at the signing and submission of the report on the minimum wage by the Committee on the Implementation of the New Minimum Wage and Consequential Adjustment, which it established to thrash out the matter. The wage bill of the state will now be above 324 million naira, as against the sum of 340 million naira requested for by labor unions in the state. Governor Aminu Waziri Tambuwal announced that his administration will commence implementation of the new minimum wage from this month and schedule a meeting of the State Executive Council meeting for Monday to consider the report. According to him, the government is poised to embark on the verification of unscheduled staff and the sharp practices of sale of letters of offer of employment to unwary citizens, stressing also that situation where children are on the payroll of the government will not be condoned. Prior to the negotiation that ushered the new wage regime, the state government had discovered a disparity in the salary data between the State Civil Service Commission, the Ministry of Finance, and the Office of the Head of Service. As he promised to pay all the workers old backlogs of salary as a result of the meticulous process of the fiscal discipline measures embarked upon by the government, the governor commended the labor union and those on the government side who sat in the committee for their maturity, patience, and patriotism to the people of the state. In his remark, the chairman of the Minimum Wage Implementation Committee, Alhaji Mohammed Namadina Abdurrahman, summarized the suggestions of the committee to the state government as salary skills, assessment of staff, decentralization of salary payment, and the establishment of a revenue generation system by the state government. President Muhammadu Buhari on Thursday met with the leadership of the Academic Staff Union of Universities at the Presidential Villa, Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory. The ASU leadership was led by its president, Professor Biodun Ogunyemi. The news agency of Nigeria reliably learned that the meeting was at the instance of the university lecturers who have been resisting enrolling on the federal government's Integrated Payroll and Personnel Information System. The president had ordered the Minister of Finance, Budget, and National Planning to stop the payment of salaries of federal government workers, including members of ASU, who failed to enroll on the IPPIS platform by October 31, 2019. The government later extended the deadline to November 30, 2019. Meanwhile, ASU threatened to embark on a nationwide strike if the federal government stopped the payment of salaries of its members who refused to enroll. While expressing its readiness for dialogue with the government, ASU proposed the University Transparency and Accountability Solution as an alternative to the government's centralized payroll system of IPPIS.
The Ministry of Education, we have a lot of work to do in organizing the universities and making them credible by putting proper infrastructure and getting qualified staff. We will make sure of the standards and the resources to be made available to so that our qualifications are credible, not only in Nigeria but all over the world.
President Muhammadu Buhari, Thursday in Abuja, said federal government will give more attention to improving personnel and infrastructure of universities to produce quality graduates, assuring that education will henceforth be a top priority in development goals of the country. President Buhari, who received leadership of Academic Staff Union of Universities, led by Professor Biodun Ogunyemi, at the State House, said effective and efficient operations of universities will go a long way in improving the economy, especially with focus on science and technology. The president urged members of the ASU to assist the federal government in realizing the target of improved education and credible certificate by complying with ongoing verification and validation of human resources in the universities, which will guarantee optimum output. President Buhari said constitutional provisions should be carefully studied and adhered to for more harmonious relationships and standards that will promote efficiency. The president directed the Ministry of Education to put in more effort in ensuring that Nigerian universities are properly funded with adequate infrastructure and staffing. In her remarks at the meeting, the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, said out of the 137,016 academic and non-academic staff members of the universities, 96,090 have been enrolled in the Integrated Payment and Personnel Information System, IPPIS, urging ASU to encourage the remaining 40,926 members to comply with the process. The minister pointed out that many anomalies were discovered in the university structures that have contributed to the increased cost burden, which includes staff working and earning pay in more than one university, contract staff on payroll of the government, tax reduction on pay and multiple employments. Hajia Zainab Ahmed said some universities had rushed to recycle more staff before the IPPIS registration commenced, which was then detected.
Our view, Your Excellency, is that while it is clear that ASU has peculiarities, that those peculiarities should be clearly recognized and special provisions made for them, rather than having those special peculiarities put and carried on the payroll. Bringing the universities on the payroll will not erode their independence or autonomy. It will only help government to manage the very scarce resources that we're having to deal with.
The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, urged ASU to comply with the IPPIS in the national interest, as his office was already in the process of streamlining all issues of human resources in government.
You might not be aware that the total combination of personnel costs and overheads accounts for over 70% of our national budget. We have a lot to do to ensure that a cost-saving measure is put in place so that we can release these funds to deploy them to education, to infrastructure, to provision of power, and all other things that will make life more meaningful for our people.
In his remarks, the president of ASU, Professor Ogunyemi, said the educational sector needed more federal government attention, noting that implementation of agreement over the years will go a long way in improving the quality of education in the universities.
Nigerian universities can make meaningful contributions to addressing the challenges of the country, e.g., economy, security, and corruption, if given the opportunities.
President Muhammadu Buhari on Thursday in Abuja reaffirmed the commitment of his administration to use technology for enhanced public service delivery. Receiving the leadership of Computer Professionals Registration Council of Nigeria, CPCN, and Nigerian Computer Society led by its president, Professor Charles Owadia, President Buhari said technology in public service delivery is no longer a luxury, but a pressing necessity. He noted that information technology is the driving force for social and economic change and told IT professionals that his government, through its actions, has demonstrated its commitment to convert those potentials to reality. President Buhari used the occasion of the courtesy visit by representatives of the computing and IT professionals in Nigeria to enumerate some benefits of using technological tools to implement government policies. The president said technology could also be used to fight corruption and reduce leakage and inefficiencies in public service delivery. The president therefore requested the computer body to continue to partner with government at all levels to ensure the benefits of these tools are realized and at the same time its threats are eliminated. In his remarks, Professor Uwadia commended the president for demonstrating the political will to accelerate national IT development with his physical presence at the E-Nigerian Conference and awards on 4 consecutive occasions over the years. The president of CPCN listed more outstanding achievements of the current administration in the sector to include issuance of Executive Order 1 on the promotion of transparency and efficiency in the business environment, Executive Order 3 on support for local contact in public procurement by the federal government, and Executive Order 3 on planning and execution of projects, promotion of local contact in contracts and science, engineering, and technology. We'll be right back after this short commercial break. Stay tuned.
Fellow Nigerians, do you know that constituency projects are actually your projects? Do you know that constituency projects are funded by the federal government? Do you know that you can track release of constituency project funds for projects located in your constituency and follow up to know how they have been executed? Constituency projects happen because government does not want to leave any community out in development efforts. You have a responsibility to know what constituency project has been planned for your community, how much has been allocated for it, and whether value for money has been delivered. Take ownership of constituency projects located in your community. Protect them because they belong to you. Government knows about your needs and is planning for you. Government needs your help to ensure quality delivery. Know that constituency projects are actually your projects. Protect your constituency project. My constituency, my project.
For information on funds allocated to projects in your constituency, call 0800 2255 4272.
This message is from the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission and the National Orientation Agency.
Welcome back. On business, Jemima Samuel has more detail.
Thank you, Musa Joy. Welcome to Business Desk. The World Bank has said the growth in West Africa economy and monetary union is expected to stabilize at 6.4% this year. Specifically, it predicted that Nigeria's economy will grow by 2.1% in 2020. The prediction is contained in January 2020 Global Economy Prospect, which was released on Wednesday. According to the report, Nigeria's economy will also grow by 2.1% in the year 2021 and 2023. Nigerian macroeconomic framework was not conducive to confidence, the bank said in the report, noting that it was characterized by multiple exchange rates, foreign exchange restrictions, and persistent inflation. World Bank Group Vice President for Equitable Growth, Finance and Institutions, Sela Paza, urged policymakers in Nigeria and other developing economies to undertake structural reforms that boost broad-based growth. He added steps to improve the business climate, the rule of law, debt management, and productivity should be taken to help achieve sustained growth. Also, World Bank Prospects Group Director Ian Coase said policy improvements would help to minimize the risks associated with current debt wave in a fragile global economy. According to the report, downward risks persist even as investment and trade gradually recover from significant weakness recorded in 2019. The bank further projected growth in sub-Saharan Africa is expected to peak at 2.9% in the year 2020. And that's all we have on Business Desk today. I am Jemima Samuel. Over to Musa Joy in the studio.
Thank you, Jemima. And on the international scene, Nigerians have been given 12-hour ultimatum to leave South African town. This was after a violent clash between locals and foreigners following the killing of a police officer and his cousin on Wednesday. Nigerians and other foreign nationals residing in Kimos, an Uppington area of Northern Cape, South Africa, have been given 12 hours to vacate the communities. A Nigerian had stabbed Constable Nico Visage and his cousin to death, infuriating locals who attacked foreigners and set their houses and stalls on fire. The community members of Kimos and environs went on rampage, burning and destroying properties belonging to foreign nationals, Nigerians in particular. This attack spread to Uppington. Nigerians and other foreign nationals were also expelled from Uppington. Prompt police intervention this morning brought about calm, but the situation is still tensed. Some locals were arrested by the police for public disturbance and malicious damage to properties. The president of Nigerian Union in South Africa, Adetola Olubajo, said they have appeared in Kimos Magistrate Court for a bail hearing. Mr. Olubajo further said that the suspect, which had been on the run since the incident, has been arrested and will appear in court on or before next Monday. He commended the South African Police Service for their swift intervention, calling for more protection for Nigerians and other nationals in North Cape. That has been the news from Standard Voice Television. To end the news, a quick look at the major headlines. Zamfara State Fire Service records 433 cases of fire outbreaks last year. Repentant Bandit assures his support to Zamfara Peace Initiative. Sokoto State Government implements 30,000 Naira new national minimum wage in January. On business, World Bank predicts 2.1% growth for Nigeria's economy in 2020. On the international scene, Nigerians given 12-hour ultimatum to leave South African town. Thanks for watching. I still remain Musa Joy Onyoza. Stay tuned.